I'm Jackson County Times Journal Managing Editor Jennifer Hughes, and I'm here with Jeremiah Shaver, the Jackson County Times Journal. We're going to discuss some of the political results from last night's primary election. So, Jeremiah, what do you think was the top race this time?
I'd say for the primary election, the top race was between the Jackson County Sheriff race and the Jackson County Prosecutor race.
Right, both of those are Republican contested races, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about the sheriff race. We had, who was running for that race? We had Theodore Ted Frazier,
Curtis J. John,
and Chief Deputy Jim Eflin.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackson County came out in force and handed their faith into the work that Ted Frazier is going to do for them.
Yep.
In fact, they gave him so much support that the votes that Chief Deputy Eflin received and the votes that Curtis J. John received didn't even match half of what the amount that Frazier received. Frazier had 2,757 votes, while Eflin came in second with 1,879 votes, and Curtis J. John received 610 votes. So, with no Democratic contender, as well as no independents,
or write-in candidate.
And you have until August the 28th to register if you think that you can beat out Ted Frazier for the job. But he put in the hard work, and the voters believe that he's their answer.
Yep. We were talking about Ted Frazier. He was out at the Jackson County Board of Elections last night, and here's a little video clip of him thanking everybody that supported him.
I'd like to thank everybody for what they've done.
The next race we're going to talk about is the Jackson County Prosecutor race, which was close in the beginning, but
the spread widened quickly, and I have to tell you, hardworking Justin Lovett just took this race.
yes, he did.
The race was between John L. Jack Deddy and Justin Lovett, both Republicans. They're the only ones that have entered the race.
Mm-hmm.
No Democrats have entered the race. There are no independent candidates. At this time, no write-in candidates have entered the race. So it appears at this time that Justin Lovett may be Jackson County's next prosecutor. Okay,
right,
but let's look at the numbers. When the first 20 precincts reported in, Justin Lovett had 1,630 votes. Deddy had 1,044 votes. After a technical glitch, which delayed results, Lovett ended up having 3,165 votes to Deddy's 2,045 votes. So it's almost a 1,100 difference there.
Yep.
So Justin Lovett said he's going to be a hardworking candidate. Prosecutor now, since we think he's going to end up with the job. He said he's going to be tough on crime. Here's a little bit of what he had to say Tuesday night at the Board of Elections.
Well, it's a tribute to all the great supporters and hard workers we had out there, and I really appreciate everyone's hard work on this campaign with family and friends, and I just really appreciate all the voters that came out and ready for some change around here. Overall, we need to see more aggressive prosecutions, particularly with thefts and burglaries. Those will be the key initiatives that I'll be seeking, and also to take a look at some of the past unsolved crimes. I think that we need to bring justice to the victims in the county. Has been long overdue.
The next race we're going to talk about is the 93rd District's state representative race between 3 Republican candidates. One candidate was from Jackson County, which was Jim Riepenoff. We had a candidate from Lawrence County, who was Bill Dingus, and Gallia County resident Ryan Smith. Now, this race was kind of tight in the beginning between Dingus and Smith, but it appears that Gallia County pulled
Smith ahead.
Smith ahead and by a little bit.
But
Right now there's only, how many votes are between the two?
62.
There's about 62 votes between the two of these candidates, between Dingus and Smith. We know that
There's still provisionary votes out there, so there could be an upset in this race.
yes. We know that Jim Riepenhoff is down for the count at this point. The race is still up in the air for Bill Dingus and Ryan Smith. Now, in Jackson County, it appears that Ryan Smith took the vote.
Yeah, Ryan Smith had 1,985 votes for Jackson County over Jim Riepenhoff. Now, Jim Riepenhoff's from Wellston, so he's a Jackson County resident, and he didn't win. He lost the race by 93 votes for Jackson County, and then Bill Dingus come in third with 1,393 votes.
So this race we may not know who the true winner is until all the provisional ballots are cast in the counties, which are Gallia, Jackson, Lawrence, and partial of Benton County. Jackson County Commissioner race with the term beginning January the 3rd, 2013. There were five candidates in this race. In the top two, Jan Gettles and Paul Haller really took it to the mat over Andy Rollins, Anthony Cox, and Don Souders. And in the end, Paul Haller came out on top.
Yes, he did. Now, Paul Haller won with 2,060 votes to Jan Gettles' 1,581 votes.
Andy Rollins, former mayor of Colton, had 800 votes, while Don Souders came home with 397 votes, and former Wellston council member Anthony Cox had 276.
The next race we're going to talk about is the Republican race for the 4th District Court of Appeals, and
this is the 2-9-13 term, Jeremiah.
is it so?
Yes.
All right.
There were 4 Republican nominees: Patricia Sanders, Stephen Newman, Leonard Holzapfel, who is Jackson County's Common Pleas Court judge, and Lori Pritchard Hardin.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackson County pulled out the votes to propel Leonard Holzapfel as the winner of this race.
That's right. He had 3,863 votes in Jackson County, and those votes helped him win this race.
Right. Second place in Jackson County went to Lori Hardin. Third place went to Stephen Newman. And Patricia Sanders took in 296 votes.
Now, district-wide, Holzapfel of Wellston took 15,322 votes district-wide.
Wow, that's good. How much did the second place?
Now, Steve Newman from Ross County, he took in 14,064 votes.
So, there you have it. Jackson County may have to look for a new
Court of Appeals judge.
Yes. So we'll have to find that out in November when Holzapfel will take on Marie Hoover, the Democrat candidate.
I'm going to talk about the most important race of the primary election, and
Well,
that is...
according to all other media outlets, they think that this presidential race is the most important race. Now, to us, we like the local races because we're the local newspaper, and we have been following those local races very closely because it affects us very immediate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on to this presidential race. I thought Rick Santorum was going to totally dominate Ohio. He led
for quite some time.
Mitt Romney just
pulled the rug out from underneath.
He sure did, and it was to me a surprise that Romney was able to do that in the last minute. But let's go to the Democrat. The only presidential Democrat on the ticket was Barack Obama, so he'll be on the ballot come November.
Mm-hmm.
And then, depending on what's happening here, Mitt Romney pulled out the Republican nomination throughout the state. And in Jackson County, he was our runner-up winner. In Jackson County, he had 1,630 votes. Well, Rick Santorum actually won Jackson County with 2,118 votes. So, despite the effort here in Jackson County to send Santorum up, Mitt Romney got the vote. So, Newt Gingrich earned 640 votes in Jackson County. Ron Paul earned 518 votes in Jackson County. Rick Perry earned 120 votes in Jackson County. And Ron Huntsman gained 82 votes in Jackson County.
That's John Huntsman. You said wrong?
No,
That's all right there. I got her back.
that's okay.
Moving on.
He only had 6,415 votes statewide, so I had not heard about him until
Yeah.
we went to the polls and we got the
Very well.
results. Let me guess here. I'm guessing that, let's say 26% of the voters of Jackson County went to the polls. Is that about right?
That is about right.
According to the Jackson County Board of Elections, okay, there are 23,982 registered voters in Jackson County.
But only 6,335 of them went out and voted in the primary election yesterday.
Which is about, well, they claim it to be 25.98%. We'll say 26% of the voters, because there's still 104 provisional ballots that need to be counted in Jackson County. Those will be counted on March 18th. So, all the words we just said here are contingent on what those.
It's all unofficial results.
Yeah, it's all unofficial, but right now this is what we're telling you is the winner. There's only 104 votes that may change something. Right now, the only race that may change is that 93rd District State Representative race, because there's only 62 votes between the two.
Real close race.
And that's just Jackson County. That's not counting Gallia, Lawrence,
And Benton.
and a little bit
I
of
do
Benton.
believe they have some
Provisional ballots.
provisional
So
ballots too.
that's our report. So thank you very much for watching our roundup, our election connection.
Yeah, election connection.
And see you next election. Make sure you come to JacksonCountyDaily.com for all your Jackson County news. We'll see you later.